Hey folks, what's up? You should be able to hear me. All right, I guess I should put my glasses so I can actually see what's going on here. It's Monday again. The weeks fly by now, right? Welcome to Monday Night Ramble. Let's ramble on. So tonight I'm playing a little bit of the SG, as you can see. And the setup tonight is through the Mesa Boogie and the Aux. I've been playing with the Aux a little bit more, getting to tweaking it a little bit more, figuring out all the little nuances and getting all that stuff kind of ironed out. There's a lot to learn, but it's coming together fine. This is kind of a preset that I've got right now. It's a 412 cab, and I'll show you that setup. I'm thinking tonight what we might be able to do is, with your help, what I'll do is I'll bring up the software, and what we can do is maybe kind of create a quick preset together from scratch. I'll take your cue, like if you want a 412, you tell me, and then if you want different mics or whatever, we'll try something. I don't know if we'll go very long with it, but we'll try some stuff, right? The other thing I figured out how to do is to run my Helix and the Aux together, and that sounds, I don't know, should I try that right now? Let me click that on. Hold on to your seatbelts, folks. That's with the Helix and the Aux running together. So the Helix has its own sound. If you want to hear what the Helix sounds like by itself, just a quick, where's that right here? This is the Helix. It's got a very different sound, right? And if I go to my Aux. Let's put the drop pedal on. So I was playing with that drop pedal this week because of all the Motley Crue news. I got in the mood of trying to play some Motley Crue a little bit, and they're tuned a full step down, so when you hear stuff like you get the idea. So when I get that, then back to, it's an easy way to tune up and down without doing a lot of fuss, right? So anyway, let's see what's going on in the chat, and then we'll get started with some stuff, man. All right. Oh my God, I'm backed up here. We got Will Varela. I always have a hard time saying your last name, Will. Will Varela. Okay, I'll get used to it. Bam Mozzie. I see you changed your name. You got that Motley Crue O now with the two little dots on the top there. That's cool. Bam Ozzy. Jack Clark. How's it going, Jack? And Denny Allen. How's it going, Denny? Terry's in here. Janice Lala, how's it going? I saw a couple of your videos on Facebook. I think you were jamming, doing some stuff. Let me just shut this amp off here for a second. Do that. All right, cool. Yeah, I saw a couple of your videos there, Janice. That was awesome. Ladybug, what's up? Ladybug and Nocturnal Butterfly have a show that they do in the mornings usually. And I usually tune into that while I'm at work or something and sitting down. There's a lot of good conversations, funny stuff. So if you ever have a chance to tune into Nocturnal Butterfly's channel, I think she does it on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays or something. You might see my camera shake a little bit. I don't know. I've got to figure out a better mounting for that. Every time I touch my desk, it seems to move the camera. So I'll figure that out. Guitarded, what's going on, man? Alex Radford, how's it going, Alex? Hope all is good. EVH Gear TV. How's things, Eric? What is that sound? Am I hearing? Okay. Thought I heard the TV in the other room through my mic. This mic is so sensitive, it picks up everything. And who else we have in here? Bear with me, folks. We'll get going. Nocturnal's in here. Hi, Guitar Hack. What's going on, man? Nice to see you. I was watching Guitar Hack's little live stream he was doing on Facebook the other day from his smoking lounge, or his smoking shed, I should say. Some conversations with him on there. Ivan Carter, what's going on, Ivan? And just making my way down here. Bear with me, folks. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Did I miss anybody? Dave's Guitar Channel. What's going on, Dave? Welcome. Hey, everyone. Dave's got the first round of beers, folks. So have at it. It's Monday Night Raw. Pretty much, man. Bam. I think that because Brian is more of an interactive show with more structure than the chat live. Yeah, I kind of go between stuff. Some days I'll do more of the chat Q&A stuff, and some days I'll do a little bit more of the switching cameras, showing you some gear and going through some things. It just depends how I feel. There's no set rules here, man. We just kind of go with the flow. If I see the chat's going good with questions, we do that. Guitar Pit, what's going on, man? How do you like that new Les Paul? Les Paul man now. Looks good. Nice standard. You got a great deal on it. I know that. Because I looked today. I was at Long McQuaid today. I just stopped in because I was in Mississauga for something else for work, and then I just drove by there, so I stopped in. They didn't have that much there, but they had the exact same guitar you have, and they were selling it for $3,600 Canadian. So that's something like 36. That would probably be around that 25. What is this? Oh, nice. Okay. Interesting. I was getting a phone call. That never happens. Okay, hold on. I don't know if you guys heard that ringing, but that's annoying. All right. Yeah, I was at the Long McQuaid and I saw that they had that same guitar that the Guitar Pit bought for. I think Guitar Pit got it for like $1,900 or something like that, US. So US Canadian 34. I think it was 34 or 3,600 that Long McQuaid was asking Canadian. So that converted to American would probably be around 2,600. So you got a great deal, buddy. Jamal, what's going on, man? Jamal's in the house. Ben Coombs. Hey, man, just got home from buying a guitar. Cool. I don't suppose you want to tell us what the guitar is in here, do you? You're more than welcome to if you want. But I know you might want to save that for your own video, I guess, right? Brad Egan. Is Brad Egan in here? Did I miss you? Oh, yeah, there you are. Hey, Brad. Brad's in here. Cool. All right, I think I've got everybody. Guitar Pit, I'm getting along with the LP pretty well. Can't complain. 36 is criminal. I know, man. It's like we get hosed big time up here. And I'll give you more details on that because I'm actually in the market for something, and I'll share that with you. Mark O's Images is in here. Cool. Guitar Pit. Who the heck makes regular phone calls anymore? I know. Well, I get some friggin' calls sometimes from telemarketers. And one day I'm going to do a live stream, and I was thinking of doing it tonight, but I'm going to call one of these guys back. One of these calls is I'm getting arrested by the IRS or something like that. So I think I'm going to call them back and just go along with the gig a little bit and see what happens. I'm kind of scared to do it because if they've got my number when I do it, then I'll just keep getting, you know, calls from these people all the time. So, but I've kind of had it with these people, so I'm going to maybe do it live on air and we'll see what happens. I've seen it done before, and it's pretty funny what some people get them to do and get them to say. A bunch of scammers, right? Bam. Okay. Let's see that. Hey, Dale Palmer's in here too. That's good. All right. Oh, we got 24 people in here. Cool. All right. So let's look at I guess the only news of the week for me, anyway. The biggest part, everybody's been talking about this Motley Crue movie, right? So let's have a look at this. So it looks like this new Motley Crue movie is getting a lot of talk this week, and I did watch it. I'm not going to spoil it, and I'm not going to tell you anything that happened in it, so you guys can definitely go check it out. It's on Netflix, and it came out on Friday, so I watched it. I was looking forward to it, and actually I guess my quick review on it would be that I enjoyed it for what it was. I wasn't expecting a, you know, kind of, I knew it was going to be movie-ish, so it was, you know, embellished and stuff. But a lot of this stuff apparently happened, but I enjoyed it. I like Motley Crue, and I grew up, you know, listening to Motley Crue, and I remember getting, you know, Too Fast for Love, that first album back in the early 80s, and Shout at the Devil and stuff. So it was quite the time. I mean, I can't imagine. I wish I was in LA at that time, because that would have been incredible. But yeah, for me, I enjoyed the movie. You know, I don't think it's family friendly. Like if you have kids or something, I don't know if I'd let the kids watch it at this point. I don't know, it really depends. I don't have kids, so it's hard for me to say, but some of the scenes were pretty graphic. So I guess in a way I appreciate that they didn't take scenes like that out. They went to that level, but at the same time, be forewarned. But the critics didn't like it. A lot of the movie critics hated it, but a lot of the fans really loved it, apparently, from all the articles that I've been reading, and this is one of the articles that I was reading this week, or yeah, this past weekend. I don't know if you guys saw it. Let me know what you guys think. I know that Tone King, he did I guess a live stream yesterday or the day before with Phil McKnight, and they discussed the whole movie and stuff, and they had made a lot of good points. One of the points they made that was kind of rang through, like, or got me thinking, is if that movie was, or if people were acting that way today, you know, what would happen, right? There'd be a lot of criminal activity, and the politically correct world we live in, I don't think that would fly, and I don't think rock bands are like that anymore from all the stuff that they did. So that was, you know, a couple of good points that Phil McKnight and Tone King were making about that. It was definitely, for its time, it was what it was, but doing that type of stuff today, they'd all be arrested. Even that Vince Neil car accident thing, I think he got 17 days in jail for, you know, drunk driving, killing somebody and injuring. So, you know, I don't know that would fly today, but interesting movie nonetheless. I enjoyed it for what it was, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to let you guys see it. Brad said, oh, David Ennis, hey man, how's it going? Nathan Madden, what's going on, man? Let's see. Nathan says, I have a pretty stupid question. There's no stupid questions, man. Can I use a sustained with a line 6 75 amp, not going clean, just to add the sustain all around? I can't see why not. I'm not familiar with the 75 amp. I don't know what line 6 75 amp. I'm not sure what that is. But sustainer. Oh, the sustainer. Yeah, I don't know. I've never used a sustainer, so I would say try it. That's the best advice I can give you for that one, since I don't have experience with it. Brad says, watched the Crew movie this weekend, enjoyed it. Yeah, awesome. He wishes it had gone a bit further into their career. Yeah, it's hard, man, because, you know, you've got less than 2 hours to fill a huge amount of content, so there's only so much you can do. It's just what it is. It's definitely not Disney. Yeah, that's right, Guitar Hack. It's definitely not. But, you know, I enjoyed it. And Nocturnal says definitely not family friendly. Brad says, Brian, remember the bus ride to Rimouski? Yeah, somewhat. When we were kids, Brad and I grew up together, and we would organize these bus trips, like a big Greyhound bus, and we'd fill it up with a bunch of teenagers. Everybody would pay. I think I paid like $25 for that concert, and the $25 included the bus and everything. And it would take the concert was in Rimouski, so that was a few hours away from the little town that we were living in. And Motley Crue was the concert. It was Shout at the Devil, and two bands that opened for them. I'm going to say, Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was supposed to be Saxon that was going to open for them, and they canceled. And Exciter, a Canadian band, and Lee Aaron, I think, opened for Motley Crue that day. And what a concert. That was really, I think that was like my first concert, like real concert. And that would have been in 85 maybe. I was 15 years old. So yeah. And back then, again, speaking of things you wouldn't do, like we were just a bunch of teenagers on a big bus, and the bus driver would get across the lines that were like New Brunswick and the Quebec border were, we were about an hour from the Quebec border. And once you cross Quebec border, you could, get beer pretty cheap and stuff. So the bus would kind of stop at one of these little places to pick up a bunch of, like a gas station basically. And the guy was, whoever was in age would go in and get a bunch of beer, and everything was coming on the bus, and we just drank all the way there. And man, we had some pretty drunk people and some sick guys there for sure that got, you do a little bit too much. And at that young age, like I said, I'm 15 years old. Drinking was like, our body can only take so much. But it was a great time. I loved it. And I do remember it. Eric says, I'm not typing much, I'm listening, wrapping up a video commercial website. No problem, Eric. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm just going through the chat here. Guitar had said it was, thought it was a good movie and he enjoyed it. Good. Eternal, what are you? Oh, okay. So, Guitar Hack, I saw Shout at the Devil to our first show in Toronto with Accept opening. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think for us it was supposed to be Saxon that was going to open that show, and they canceled, and then that's why the two other bands came in. Exciter was a three-piece band from, I'm going to say Ottawa or something. They were really heavy. They had a song called Pounding Metal. It was really good. I remember walking into that arena and it was like, wow, this is insane. This is what I want to do. And ever since then I've been like, well, until I stopped in 2007, that was, that was the start for me when I saw that concert. Well, I got into music because of Kiss, and when I saw Kiss Alive, or you got the album Kiss Alive and everything, I was geared up for that and I really was into it. But then I saw that concert live, I was like, oh my God, this is definitely the direction I'm going in. And I did for a while, and it was fun. Let's see. Bam Ozzy says, first time I saw Motley Crue, it was Donington Monsters of Rock in '91. Cool. Along with Black Crowes, Queen. I remember that concert. It was like, I didn't see it, but I saw footage of it and stuff, and it was a big deal back then, man. It was a huge concert. I would have loved to have seen that. Can't imagine how many people were there. Ben currently uploading a quick playthrough of the new guitar. Cool. We can't wait to see what you got. So a little guitar story. As some of you know in here, and I've said it before, I'll say hi to a few more people that just popped in. BV Ninja, how's it going? Zach Thong, how's it going? I'm in the market, I'm on the lookout for a Gibson Les Paul R9 or R0. I'm pretty sure it's the R9 that I want, because I've tried a few of them and I really enjoy them. I think I like the neck profile more than the R0, which is a 60s version. So I've got a couple of feelers out there as far as some of the reps that I deal with, and they're looking at trying to find a bunch. Well, they're looking at the inventory they've got in their stores and some other stores, and also looking at the used market to see what's out there. You can definitely get them, you know, new ones. There's some in the stores, and some of the stores I've seen, but man, they're so expensive. So I'm trying to lock down a used one, but so I should find out this week what they were looking into it this week, and they're going to get back to me. So the situation with that is it's going to be my 50th birthday in August, so this year. So I really wanted, you know, that special guitar that was going to be that, you know, that one, and I've always wanted a custom shop Les Paul. So that's what I'm on the lookout for right now. The thing with it is, if I do go ahead and get that, because it is a pricey guitar, I will be getting rid of one of my Les Pauls, so to replace with that one, and I'm going to be keeping the traditional, which is the tobacco burst, not that one. Oh, come on, that one. I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to sell the standard, that one. I posted a picture of the standard today on Instagram, so if you want a closer look at the actual top and stuff, you can look at my Instagram account, and go back to this shot here. And I did start a new Instagram account. I told you guys, I think last week, about I was going to do that, and it's on the screen right there. So Brian Cote _music. If you're not following me there, you can definitely do that. I try to post regularly, and it's all guitar music related stuff, so videos and some guitar pictures and things like that. But today I did post a kind of a close-up of that standard, and that's the one that I'll probably be getting rid of if I do get the R9. So just to let you know, and if I do decide that I'm getting the R9, I will let the community know first if anybody's interested in getting the Les Paul standard. I'll probably be looking at a price of for that one. Well, if you're American, you're probably looking at 22 American, and Canadian 28, around that. So that's what I'm going to try to get for it if I do decide to get rid of it. But if you have any questions regarding it, or once I decide, and if I can't find the R9 at a decent price, or a price that I'm comfortable with, then I'm going to keep what I have and just, you know, wait a little longer, and maybe someday something will pop up. But if I do find it and I decide to go ahead and pull the trigger on it, I will let you guys know. And if anybody in the community is interested in my Les Paul standard, I will offer it up to you guys first. But I will let you know. BV Ninja says, Brian Cote, have you read the book but not seen? Oh, I did read the book, actually, and the book is really good. It goes into a lot more detail, obviously, than the movie can, because, you know, usually that's the case with books. And the movie does cover a lot of things that happen, like they explain in the book, some of the key things. But there is only so much time, right? So they can't cover everything. Hey, R2, what's going on? R2, R3, locking nuts in the house. Cool, cool. Bam says only about 85,000 people. Wow. After the deaths over, wow. Guns N' Roses appeared in '89. Man, that's a large crowd, eh? That's crazy. Cool. You're a young man, Brian. Yeah, not that young anymore. I wish I was back in the 26, 27. I think that would be cool right now, and know everything I know now. That's the key. It's not going back to that time exactly that way and have everything the same. Going back to that time and know what I know now, as far as, you know, not things like I know the lottery numbers or I know who's going to win the World Series, nothing like that, but have more life knowledge and more, I guess, maturity in that area, and, you know, and business sense as far as music scenes and things like that. That's what I would like. But we can't do that. It doesn't work that way. Nobody's invented a time machine. Gussie Wells, what's going on, man? There we go. Guitar pit. Your Les Paul needs a brother or sister. Yeah, there you go. You can get the Mojave Burst Les Paul Standard. It's an awesome guitar. I love it, but I can't, because that other one is pretty expensive, and once I get that other one, that's going to be my main guitar probably, and I want to keep one more I want 2 Les Pauls because I just like Les Pauls, but I can't have all 3. Not at this point anyway. Let's see. Bam Ozzy says, I only have 5 guitars, although 4 of them over $3K. I bought expensive rather than a lot of. That's the way I am too. I don't like, some people tell me, well, why would you buy a guitar that's like $4 grand instead of buying 4 guitars that are $1 grand each and have more guitars? I'm just like that in general. I'd rather get the best that I can afford and get just the 1 or 2 or whatever it is that I decide to go with, than have, like, you know, take that money and buy 10 cheaper ones. I just need, like, I look at the best that I can afford, and if I really like it, that's the way I am. Same thing with my motorcycles. A lot of people say, you know, why don't you go buy a Yamaha or something instead of the Harley? You could buy 3 Yamahas for the price of the Harley. Just because I prefer the Harley, and, you know, there's a certain thing that I've grown up with, and that's what I like. So I kind of wait, and then I get what I feel I can afford, and it's just the way I've always been, I guess. Guitar Hack, in the same boat. Guitar Hack, I love it, and certainly don't want you certainly don't want 2 of them. Guitar Pit. You did look strange with having a Les Paul on you the other day when I logged into the stream that you and Guitar Hack were having. Because I'd never seen you with a Les Paul. I always see you with a Friedman or a SMEER or, you know, Ernie Ball or something like that. I've never seen you with a Les Paul, so it looked kind of strange. But a Les Paul, man, you can't go wrong. Let's see. Cool. Brad says jonesing to ride, buddy. Yeah, me too. Still a couple of weeks, I think, before we get the motorcycles out. Got to get the roads cleaned up. So, what can we? I wanted to do. Oh, the other thing I got this week was, I don't know if you. I was on the Tone King show a few weeks ago when he was doing this live thing with Tascam, right? And there was a question that came out, and I got the answer, and he said he's going to send me a shirt, but he didn't have my size. So instead of sending the shirt, he sent me this little card thing with a nice message on it, and a bunch of picks. So they're like the Tone King picks, and I would have to focus to bring it closer, but they're just a bunch of really nice picks. Actually, they all got his logo and everything. It was really nice of him. It's like I told him when he said you didn't have the size of the shirt, whatever. I said, oh, don't worry about it, man. It's all good. You know, I don't need anything. But he sent me this and sent me a nice little note here, you know, and with his signature, and really nice of him to do that. So yeah, he sent me like 10 pics with all his logos and name and everything. So I did get that. I got that on Friday or something like that. Came in the mail. All right. So what I wanted to try was, let's see if I can bring this up here. All right, okay, find this. Should be able to find it. There we go. All right. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, I'll put that on. All right, so that's it. Okay, so that's the aux with, so you can see what I've got for a setup there anyway, right? So I was thinking, why don't we try to build something from scratch so you guys can actually see the process a little bit and maybe get a sense of you know, the options. And I won't go through everything, and we'll just do a little bit, you know, give us something to talk about as well. So let me go to an empty preset. Let's go rig. Here's my preset. Still got the blues. Let me look at let's go to the first preset here. That's 50 watt. Oh man, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay, so can I bring this? Probably not. I can put it as close as I can here. I got a different kind of setup here today, so it's with cables and stuff. It's always fun. Let's do something here. Let's just start from scratch. So right now, this is a 110 cabinet. So what I'm going to ask you, I'm going to solo that. Okay. What cabinet do you guys want to go with? Let's look at something together. A 112, a 212, a 412, or a 410. Put in the chat what you guys want me to go with. We're going to just do a quick preset from scratch with you guys are going to decide what speaker cabinet we start with. Do you want a 412, 212, a 112, a 110? Just put in the chat. I'm going to take the couple of you can say what you want, and then I'm going to see what the popular choice is, and we'll move from there. I'll give you a second. So basically we're looking at what cab we want to try. Okay, Pooh Ninja says a 412. We've only got 412. You can either have a 412, a 212, a 112. We've got 412s coming up. Here we go. Got a few 412s. Look like 412s are the ones that everybody wants to go with. 412s since you don't have to carry it. Yeah. That was a cool scene in the Motley Crue movie too. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a scene where Mick Mars has to carry his cabinet up to their apartment where they're rehearsing. It's kind of funny. It brought back memories. Okay, Nocturnal, see you later. Dale says a 212, but it looks like 412 is winning. Okay, so let's look at the 412s. Let's see. Let's try this. Okay, so we've got a 412. There we go. Around 50 watt. And what do I have for a mic? So right now I've soloed like one mic on it. So I'm soloed on the one mic. So do you guys want a different mic? So you want a ribbon mic or a dynamic mic? So basically you want an SM57 or do you want something different? There we go. 57. All right, let's go with a 57. So here we go. We got a 57 there, and that's what a 50. Let's see what the 57 sounds like. There we go. And if we put it off axis means if the mic is just tilted a little bit. So now the mic is straight on to the cone. Then we put off axis. So off axis makes it a little darker. Okay. So that'll be our mic 1. Let's do that. Mic 2. I think we should go with a ribbon. What do you guys think for mic 2? And let me solo that one so you just hear that. Right now we've got a condenser on there. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna put a ribbon 121 on there. I'm gonna put it off axis. So this is what it sounds like with the 2 mics without the room. Obviously you're hearing the pick noise, but I'll mute my mic in a second. All right, so we've got a 412, we've got a dynamic 57, and we've got a ribbon. Cool thing with the aux is you can add room mics. So let me bring in the room. Let me solo the room so you hear what that. That's just a room. That's just like. Let me take off the carpet of the ground. And that's just a room, right? So let's bring all three of them together. So that's pretty cool sound. I like that. It's a little dark, and I can probably fix that with some EQ. So if I bring up my EQ, I could probably bring a little bit more mid and a little bit more high there. Yeah, I like that. How's that sound over on your end, guys? Is it compressing a lot, or is it okay? It suits me, okay. Try rolling the gain. Are you, oh, okay, yeah, you're probably saying gain, not brain. So the thing with the aux is you control your gain and everything with your amp. So right now I'm on channel 2 of my amp, which is a gain channel, but not super high gain. If I go to my channel number 1, which is more of a classic sound, try that. So that's more like less gain, more like, I guess. Right? So you get the idea. So you can control all your gain and everything with your amp, but this is just for the speaker sims. I wanted to kind of give you guys a look at what the app looks like and how you can pick different mics and different cabs. And I've been kind of playing with it a little bit more and really dialing it in a lot more than I had it before. And I've got, you know, kind of my sound dialed in as much as I can. So let me go back to my other channel because I prefer more gain. So that's that. All right, let's see. So if you guys have any questions regarding the aux specifically, then let me know and I'll run through it. If not, then we'll carry on and do some other stuff. Let me just take a drink of water here. There we go. Cool. It's hard to judge a sound through YouTube. I agree. It's just a kind of a sample or kind of a quick look. I did a full run through with it before, but I'm playing with it more and more, and I'm kind of getting, you know, a different perspective on it. So I find that because I'm using pedals as well, and I can show you my pedal setup if you want to see that. Just let me know and I can show you that. But the aux is specifically just for the speaker simulations and going through my my interface. So it's quite versatile that way. But now what I've done is I've used my aux. So let me go back to my, let's go here. Let's see what this sounds like. So it gives you an idea. You can just switch pretty quick on the rig and you know, get different tones quite quickly. Oops, sorry about that. Let me turn down that volume a bit. Let me see, I got a couple questions coming in here. I guess tone primer would be for bass. Tone primer, I'm not sure what that is. Do they make tone primer? Or just paint? I'm not sure what you talk about, Pooh. Sorry, brother. Okay, Gussie says, thoughts on using real mics and placement? Well, I have both, right? I've got the Mesa cab back there, the 212, and I've got an SM57 on it right now. So what I found is, when I'm setting up my cab simulation, I set up my room here and with my amp exactly the way I like it to sound with the cab, without using any of this aux stuff other than the attenuator, so that I can bring the volume down and run my amp as loud as I like the tone at. And I find that I'm able to get very, very close to what I get out of that cab by using the simulation as well. The cool thing with all of this setup is, even with the Helix and the aux and running a real mic, I've got a switcher here that everything is plugged into, and I can go between each one, and I can also put it on so that if I hit the switch, all of them are on. So what I tried the other day, which was kind of cool, was I was able to, let me just switch the camera quickly here. I was able to just put it on all channels and blend the aux, the real cab, and the Helix all together, and just kind of run my mixer, put my levels where I needed to be, and I got a huge sound out of that, and it was really cool. And so that's an option as well, right? You don't have to kind of just use the aux by itself. You can use the aux and the real mic and kind of blend the two, and you're pushing that to your recording software, and you could print that as your tone, basically, going in as you're recording, right? The other thing that I have with the setup that I've got, where everything is plugged into a mixer and into a switcher, if I turn everything on, I can record one track, I can play one part of guitar and have all my tracks going in at the same time. So I'm recording the Helix sound, I'm recording the real mic sound, I'm recording the aux, and I'm also recording a clean DI out, so the guitar DI. So I've got a track in there that I can add, I can add plugins or amp simulations if I want to add that. So it gives you tons of options. There's no, there's no limit to really the tones and sounds you can have once you've got, a few things in your setup that you can run. But I'm always experimenting, and this week I actually did it with the mic and the aux together. So the mic and the simulated cabs, and I was able to do some pretty interesting stuff with that. And in the room here, it sounds really cool because you're getting the real cab sound, and I've got my monitors here as well running in front of me that are giving me the aux simulated cabs together, and it's pretty heavy sound, and it's really cool. So I'm still playing with it, and I'm figuring it out. Quentin Jane, what's going on, man? Todd Flowers, how's it going? Quentin says, I'm a master at live streaming and lighting. You should just ask me how to do that. Yeah, I think you tried to do a live stream the other day, and there was a bunch of stuff happening, right? You definitely need some light, brother, or maybe that's your thing, right? You run with it. You'd be the guy in the dark, but it's pretty funny. All right, Guitar Pit, go have dinner. Thanks for jumping in. That one. Brad says that one. I don't know what you mean, Brad. The other sounds more natural. Oh, okay, yeah. It just depends on the channel that I go on the amp that I can get different tones. If I just want a kind of a more rock, classic rock sound, I can do that. If I want a more metal, more heavy sound, I can do that with that amp. So that amp gives me a lot of flexibility in that way. Let's see. Ladybug says lighting melts your skin, Quentin. Let's see. At my age, I don't think I can figure all this stuff out. Yeah, you'd be surprised though. Some of this stuff looks a lot more complicated than it is, but once let's say you got something like the aux or the Helix or whatever, once you hook it up and you just kind of dive in a little bit and you play with it, you kind of, it's not that hard. It's just at first it looks that way, but once you start playing with it, it's pretty easy actually, once you start to figure out where things go and how things work together. But you know, everybody has their comfort zone, right? So it's not for everybody. Guitar X says, yeah, I feel the same way. I hear you, man. Some days I just come in here and I don't even, the only thing I use the aux for is for an attenuator, and I go right through my cab and I just use my pedals. I've got, you know, some analog pedals that I go to, like, that are just for my tone. Basically, they're just like an EP booster, an EQ, a carbon delay, and a noise gate, basically, and a compressor, and I use my amp for all the distortion, and I just run with that. So I can go either way. The reason I've got some of these tools here is more for studio work. I find that it's a lot easier to do recording when you've got stuff that you can go direct into your audio interface, instead of, you know, dealing with mic and reflections of the room and all kinds of other stuff, because this isn't really a studio. It's basically a room in my house, and I've, you know, put a little bit of acoustic treatment on the walls and things like that, but you know, it's only, you can only go so far unless you build like a Pete Thorne studio where it's all, like, you know, really done up. But that's not what I have here. Tech and over 50 don't mix. Maybe, but don't doubt yourself until you try stuff. You'd be surprised sometimes how far you can get. Bam Ozzy says, at least you can run silently through headphones without having to drive the amp hard. Yeah, and that's the other thing, right? If you like your amp and you like the tone, but the tone you need to crank your amp to get that tone, then you kind of need some sort of solution to bring down that volume, whether it's going through headphones or attenuation and all that stuff. So it really opens up just the time that you're practicing and using your amp. So, you know, some people will buy a friggin' Marshall 100-watt plexi and stick it in their bedroom, and they run it at 2 because, you know, the volume's barely on, because that thing is a beast. So you can't do nothing with that. That's why even get an amp like that, right? Unless you have one of these tools like an aux or another attenuator or something that you can, you know, adjust that voltage out or something to really run it to where it needs to be. That's the point of running these amps. Guitar Hack says, I have a hard time just playing the darn thing. You play fine, brother. I saw you. I went to see you live and you were playing fine. You don't have a hard time at all. I don't think I could play, like, some of the songs you were playing. I don't know if it's because it's not really my like, some of the stuff is more like especially the clean stuff you're doing, the picking and that type of stuff. I don't do a lot of that. You know, I'm more, I don't know why, but I'm more rhythm type of guy, and I think I'd have a harder time to do some of that clean sound. Still working on that. But Gussie says, it took me 2 months to figure out how to record more than 8 bars in GarageBand. Right on. At least you learned, right? That's the way you learn. You got to keep doing it. Every vid I made was 30 seconds. We all start somewhere. That's the thing. Like, nobody gets any of this stuff and just first time they plug it in, they're experts at it. It's a matter of putting a few hours in here and there, and starting, you know, watch tutorials online and just do little bit by little bit. It's the same thing with this live streaming stuff, right? Some people say, oh, I'd like to do, you know, start my own show or do something, but, you know, I hate how I look on camera, or how I sound, or what are people going to think, or whatever. You know what? You got to let all that go and just run with it, because you'll find that as you do more of it, you become, like, better at it, and not only better at streaming, but better at communicating with people in general. Like, I'm not, like, when I started doing some of this live stream stuff, I had no clue. Like, yeah, I do it for a job, but I'm behind the tech. I'm running the boards, and I'm doing, you know, the camera and stuff. But stick me in front of a camera, I was like a deer in the headlights. I didn't know what the hell to do, and I was completely nervous and didn't know, like, I don't know why. But then I decided I'm going to get over that. I'm going to just go for it. And yeah, it's awkward at first, and you don't know what you're doing, and you try to, you figure it out, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. So if I look at this, some of my old streams, some of the first ones, it's embarrassing to watch them. Like, I don't necessarily like them, but it's a growing stage, right? You do more of them, and then you get better at it. It's the same thing with this tech stuff, right? You dive in a little bit, and at first it's confusing, and you struggle with it, and then you figure one thing out, and then you build from there. And you can, there's a lot of tutorials online. There's nothing that you can't learn today in this day and age of YouTube and everything else, that's for sure. Showman Blues, what's going on? Nice to see you. Just gonna try to catch up with this chat here a little bit. Bam Audi says, I have a Marshall JVM 410, a 100-watt Marshall that is an absolute beast. Not ever get to turn it up nowadays, as I only play at home. Yeah, I know, right? You get these super powerful amps, but if you can't turn them up to where they need to be to get the tone that they're known for having, it's I don't know, to me it's hard. Poo Ninja says, my wife prefers I play through headphones, so the Pod HD is the bomb. Yeah, that's the other thing. There's all kinds of devices up there. It doesn't have to be a Helix or an aux or whatever. You can get like little preamp boxes. I know Victory makes these nice little preamp boxes and stuff. You can plug headphones directly into that, and it sounds amazing. So there's a lot of options. Dale Palmer says, I did figure out I could copy 30 seconds of playing repeatedly, though. It was almost like a song. You know what I have a lot of problem with? And you figure, oh, well, Brian, you're running all this stuff here, so you should know how to do all this. Stupid loopers, man. I don't know what it is with loopers. I bought this little Ditto pedal or whatever to looper. Man, I couldn't figure that thing out. I was playing, I would loop something, and then I would try to loop another part on top of it, and I would delete the other one that I did. So I'm in the same boat for some stuff, man. And the Helix has a looper built in, and I never use it because it just confuses the hell out of me. I know some of you guys are pretty good with loopers because I've seen some of your videos and you're using them. So Brad Egan says, I'm also looking at the Joyo Micro. Yeah, the Joyo Micro heads are really nice. They make really good stuff, actually. I think they sell them at Cosmo. I'm not sure. I might be going to Cosmo on Saturday. I know I was talking with Guitar Hack on his Facebook thing, and he was talking about going. I think I might go on Saturday. So Guitar Hack, if you're still looking to go, I can probably meet you there around noon or something. That would be good. Right now, it looks like I'm okay to go schedule-wise, but if anything changes, I'll let you know. But right now, I think I'll go. And Brad, if you want to go, man, just let me know. But usually spend a couple hours there easily because there's so much to do as far as looking at. They've got so much stock. You can do all kinds of things. Guitar Hack says, I talk for a living, so that's the easy part. Oh, really? Oh, God. Okay, another phone call. It's insane. Why tonight? I get no calls the other nights, and now tonight I go live and everybody's calling me. All right. Yeah, so let me know, Guitar Hack, if you're still going, and Brad, let me know if you want to go as well. Let's see. Sorry if I missed any of your questions. This chat is kind of jumping around a little bit, so if I did miss it and you have a question for me, just tag me again and put it back up there, and I'll see it, because I think I'm caught up now, so I can kind of follow the chat a little easier. Gussie says, looper is frustrating too. Yeah, I don't know what it is with loopers. I just can't get my head around them. I'm almost better to open my software, my recording software, and record a few parts and just, play that over and over and just play over top of that than using a looper pedal. It's weird. It's harder to do it that way than, to load up my whole software and do the whole tracking and everything than it is to just hit a button on a looper pedal. But for some reason, my brain just doesn't work well with looper pedals. Let's see.
Dale Palmer, I want to get a looper, but I hear they can be tricky to get the timing right. Yeah, I don't know if it's a timing thing, if it's just the functionality of it. I'm not clear on, you know, what needs to be pressed at what time. And mine was pretty simple. And the one on the Helix apparently is pretty simple too. Like it shows you a menu and everything, and play, pause, record, and all that stuff. But I just can't be bothered. It's every time I do it, I just don't do it right, so I kind of leave it. Brad says, let me know. I would drop in as well. Yeah, I'll let you know for sure, Brad. Okay. Bam Ozzy says, check out the Digitech Trio Plus as a looper, also as a drum and bass section, but it's an easy to use looper as it comes in when you play and stops recording at the... Okay, that's interesting. Might check that out. I don't really need one right now, but if it's something like that that's easy to do, might be okay. Ben says, my biggest problem with my looper was I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. Yeah, there's another issue with it, right? Will says, don't answer, it's just me, Brian. Well, if you got a question, Will, put it in there. James Severin, how's it going? Nice to see you. Tech is an instrument of all its own learning curve with each new piece. Yeah, it is. It is, but you know, it's not impossible. And what I always tell people is start small and get something that is manageable. So if you are a guitar player and you want to experiment with the digital stuff, then get something like a Helix Stomp or effects or something like that, and just start playing with that. Or even just your computer, if you've got a computer, and you know, get some plugins and start playing with that, because the plugins are very similar as far as settings and menus that you will get in a hardware piece like a Helix or something. So it's a good start if you want to venture into that world. Bam's talking to Todd Flowers here. He says, I find it easier as you set the chords, the rhythm, and the length of the loop. Then when you start playing, it starts recording and stops at the end of the loop. Really? Okay. I've never seen that one. I'm going to check it out, though. I was thinking about getting the Ditto Plus for the bass and drums, but it might be easier just to get the simpler Ditto, Dale says. Yeah, I had the simple Ditto, like just the one little button on it, and I was getting confused with it, so I actually traded it. I brought that with a couple other pedals. This was months ago, and I traded it for some other pedals because I wasn't using it, because I just couldn't get along with it. I Rock the Blues, what's going on, brother? Gussie says Music Memo is a cool app. Just found it a couple. Music Memo, what is Music Memo? Is that some sort of recording app? Six String Planet, what's going on? Hey Brian, just sub with my Ed Dana. Oh, cool, cool. Oh, so this is, oh yeah, this is Ed Dana. How's it going, Ed Dana? Hope things are good. Okay, so it's got a question from Will. Okay, here's a question. So what color R9 or RO are you looking for? I'm looking for a Cherry Burst, basically is what I'm looking for. My two favorite colors on Les Pauls are Tobacco Burst and Cherry Burst. And that's my Tobacco Burst back there. It's a traditional, so I love that. But the Les Paul R9 that I'd like is a Cherry Burst for sure. So that's what we're on the hunt for. We're looking for one of those, and if we find one at a decent price, then I might pull the trigger on it, and that will mean that the standard, and that's a Mojave Burst, will be for sale. And even with that sold, I'm still going to have to pay a lot more because the R9s are not cheap. Bam Ozzy says, check out Anderton's and HP 42 reviews. Even TPS has demoed it too. Okay. All three give you great info. I will check that out. Six String Planet says, I love the Ditto, but Old Man Dan uses a looper that adds bass and drums. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and that's what the guys are saying in the chat, that you can get that other looper that adds bass and drums. That would be, I'd be looking into that just for kind of practicing a little bit here and there, and you want to kind of come up with a little, you know, part and practice scales or whatever, you just put that on and has bass and drums included. That's pretty cool. All right, Ben, have a good one. Looking forward to seeing the new guitar. You'll probably be posting that very soon, so everybody check that out. And oh, so I guess a quick note while we're almost done here anyway, because we've been going for an hour. Next week, April 1st, the show will be at 7. So starting next week, it'll be a 7 to 8, because Ben is going to be changing his show from Thursdays to Mondays at 8. So just to accommodate the two shows and, you know, not overlap or whatever, I'll be going on at 7. And then I'll be looking a little bit down the road to see if I want to keep it at that on Mondays or pick a different day if it works better for other people, because if there's too many streams going on Monday, then I might try something else, but you know, we'll play it by ear. But for now, next Monday is a 7 o'clock show, and if you're a sub to me, you'll see it come up on your notification. I Rock the Blues says, you have a Friedman guitar, right? Which one and how does it feel to play? I have 2 Friedman guitars. Let me grab one of them. Hold on. Let me put this one over here. Actually, let me do this and put this over here. Yeah, I have 2 Friedman guitars, a Tele with P90s and a Strat, vintage Strat. I'll show you the Tele first. This is the one I think Guitar Hack should get because it's amazing and he likes P90s. There we go. Oh, really? Okay. So that's a Friedman Telecaster. So I guess it's like, it has kind of the Les Paul controls down here and the switch. So that's why I really like this design. And it's not a rosewood, it's Palfaro maybe, the neck or the fingerboard, maple neck in the back, and it's all relic, right? So it's got a little bit of relicing on it, and the neck is completely smooth, sanded down type of thing. And they roll the edges of their necks on the Friedman guitars, so they're really comfortable. They feel broken in right from the factory. Let me see if I can get my headphones back up here and I'll play a few chords for you, and then I'll show you the vintage S. How's that? Friedman guitars are awesome. I really like them. Right now my 2 favorite, I guess, guitars are the Friedmans and the Gibsons, as far as that goes. All right, let me put that. We're probably going to get a little bit more noise with this one because it's got P90s. All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, the P90s are definitely noisier, and they're not that noisy. It's just because I'm facing my monitors right now, and they pick up a lot of stuff. Let me put the other channel on, which is less gain. There you go. Friedman Telecaster with P90s. It's a vintage T, I think they call it. And it's got some relicking on it. It plays awesome. One of the best feeling necks that I've played on a guitar. So if you ever get a chance to try them, definitely do that. There you go. That's the Friedman Telly. Let me go. Oh, geez, I missed some stuff here. All right, I'm just gonna. Gussie says I played an R8, nice big neck. She was a fatty for sure. Yeah, the R8 has a little bit bigger neck. The R9 is still a big neck, but I think it's less than the R8 as far as the width of it, because I played both and I felt more comfortable with the R9. Quentin James says, I'll send you some pics of my 1981 LP Custom and Cherry. Cool, yeah, definitely. That must be a beautiful guitar, Quentin. Six String says, nice looking Stu. Thank you, man. Thank you. Isn't Cherry Burst a Starburst flavor? Yeah, I think it is actually. Bam says, clocks go forward for me next weekend, so I'm not sure what time that may be. I think 7 p.m. will be midnight. Wow. Yeah. I'm going to try to do some earlier live streams at some point, you know, but it just depends on my schedule sometimes. Guitar Hack says, I'll probably go to 8 p.m. on Thursdays if you want to do 7. Okay. All right. That's good to know, Guitar Hack. I was going to ask you as well, because I know you were looking at maybe changing up your times as well. So, well, we'll figure it all out. We just want to try to make it so that everybody in the community has their slots that they can do, so nobody's overlapping, and it's better for you guys as well, so you get to see everything instead of, you know, missing stuff or whatever. Geez, Showman Blues, geez, so does anyone not have a Friedman? I don't know, you see a lot of them now, I guess, right? But there's a reason for that. They are amazing playing guitars. And I wasn't sold on them when I first saw them. I kind of had that same attitude that some people have, where you look at, like, when I first got back into guitars or music in general about a year and a half ago, and I went to Cosmo Music where these were in stock, because I'd never seen them before. I was just getting back into it, and I'm a Les Paul type of guy, and I was looking more at those. And I saw this on the rack, and I said, oh my God, what is that? And it was all banged up and everything. I'm like, Jesus. And they're, $3,000 or whatever it was. Like, I'm never going to buy a guitar like that. Why would you do that? And then I sat down and I gave it a chance, and I tried it, and it was like, holy shit. And now I understand. I get it. I get it. And then from that day on, I didn't get it that day because I was, getting back into it, and that was quite expensive, and I didn't really know what to do. So, but it was in my brain, so I kept it. And then I think I got this one. When did I get this one? I think it was late last year, if not early this year. And then I was looking for a Strat forever, and I could never find a Strat that I liked because of the position of the volume knob on this Fenders. Like, I like Fenders Strats, they play nice and everything. It's just where the controls are. The way that I play, I would always hit it and stuff, so I could never do it. But I was looking for a Strat because I really wanted a Strat for the studio, because it has its own character, its own thing. But I had this guitar already, and I knew Friedmans were amazing, and then I saw they had a vintage S, which is a Strat kind of guitar, and I tried it, and it was, again, the same thing, beautiful neck, sound, everything. So that's the Strat that I went for, which is the vintage S. Let's see. Brad Egan, the Friedman Telly is like the, yeah, it's like the Fender Tele Deluxe, exactly. It's got the same, I guess, layout or whatever. But I'll tell you something, man. I tried a ton of Telecasters, Elite, custom shop, like direct from Fender, and I didn't find one that was compared to the Friedman's. It just didn't keep up with it as far as the feel, the build, everything was, for me anyway. That's my opinion. And I've heard other people say that as well. I know Robert Baker has one of these, and he's had Fenders, and I think he actually sold his Fender Teles and stuff because this one just blew it out of the water. So they do have something about them, that's for sure. Let me go back up. Bam Aussies does not have a Friedman or Music Man either, nor Fender or Gibson. Okay. Six String says someday I'll be able to buy a new guitar. It will be a Les Paul Gold Top. Yeah, good choice, man. I had a Gold Top with P90s, and actually that's what I did. I sold the P90 Gold Top to get this one. I needed a P90 guitar, and that P90 Les Paul that I had was beautiful and played awesome, but it was really heavy, and I didn't play it that much. And then I got this, and I play it all the time. It's just a lot lighter guitar, and it sounds amazing with the P90s and everything. So that was kind of the replacement. So the Gold Top was traded for this. And then I paid extra, obviously, because I did lose a little money on the Gold Top, which kind of sucks, but it's part of the game. Scott Connor, what's going on, man? Showman Blue says, hey, Guitar Act, they are expensive guitars, and everyone has a couple just hanging around. Guitar Pit had two also. Yeah, Guitar Pit loves the Friedman guitars, raves about them all the time. Robert Baker, same thing. And there's a couple other guys that I follow online that anybody that has one, I've never heard them say a bad word about it. They always want another one. Let's see, Rock the Blues. Damn, that sounds nice. I want a guitar with P90s. Yeah, P90s are amazing. They are noisier than regular guitars, but they're worth it, man. They really are. I saw some folks saw my lame attempt at high gain. Oh, I didn't see that. Let's see, Bam Audi says, okay, you're talking to Scott. I'm gonna let that go for you. Rock the Blues, damn, it sounds like, yeah. Will says, I am a 3 Gibson guy. I have 3, yeah, that's what I have now for Gibsons. I have 3 Gibsons, which is an SG and 2 Les Pauls. And my other guitars are right there. So there's this one, and then the other Tele I have there, it's like a standard Tele, basically, with the standard Tele pickups, but it's a SMEER. It's a SMEER Tele that I actually traded for another guitar that I had, and I found a guy that wanted to trade that one for it. So we did a trade for trade, so that worked out well. And the other one is my Strat, the red Strat back there. I'll grab it in a second if you want to see it. Well, this is killing me. What the hell was I doing when everyone was buying Friedman guitars? Showman Blues, Brian, is your other S style, or no, it's an S style. It's not the Cali. I did try a Cali, and they're nice. I just needed an S style guitar more than anything because I didn't have one in the studio, and I needed that for certain tones and stuff. So that's why I went with that. The Calis are nice. I'm not a big like Floyd Rose type of guy. I don't really like that, and most Calis that I've seen all have the Floyd Rose on them. You can find sometimes, you know, if you can find one with a hardtail or whatever, that's what I would go for, but they're a little harder to find, those ones, unless you order it direct and then you pay a lot of money for them. James Severin says, yeah, sweet looking studio, thank you. Let's see. Text me if you're definitely going to Cosmo. Yeah, I will text you a Guitar Act for sure. Okay. So I'm just going to jump down this chat. So is there consensus on the best place to buy these online? I don't know, Showman, as far as where to buy it. I never really buy guitars online because I like to play them, so I always go to a store. So I don't know where the best place, and I'm not sure where you're based out, Showman, if you're based, like what state you're in, or where, because we're in Ontario, Canada here, and we only really have the one dealer that deals with Friedman, and that's a music store in Richmond Hill, Ontario, and that's where I go. So I can't really give you a place for you, like where you would look for these online. Definitely go on Reverb. You do find them on Reverb and stuff if you want to go that route. Some people have them up for sale there. There's not a whole lot, but you know, there are some out there. Brad Egan's, I don't like Fender telling necks, too fat for my liking. Yeah, they're not for everybody. And this one isn't, you know, it's kind of a mid, it's like my Les Paul traditional, and it would be like an R9, same type of, you know, size anyway. And I really like them. For my style of playing, they you know, they fit me well, so. All right, let me grab the other one, the Vintage S. All right, here we go. There we go. So that's the Vintage S Friedman, right? So it's got completely maple neck, same deal. Back of the neck is kind of sanded down, so it's very smooth. There's like, I'm sure they have some sort of coating on it, but there's like no coating at all, like for feel wise anyway. And it's kind of the same size neck as that Telly that I was just showing you. Maybe pretty much the same size, I'd say. It's got a humbucker and 2 single coils, and these are all Friedman pickups. He makes his own pickups as well. And these guitars are all made by Grover Jackson, and they're basically custom shop guitars, right? So this one's Relict as well, and I don't mind the Relics guitars anymore. I used to be like, oh, I don't know if I like them, but these ones, they're done right, and I like them a lot. So let's see if I can. Let me tune real quick. All right. Let's go back. See if I missed anything, and I'll show you what this one sounds like a little bit. Gussie says, Brian, still considering playing in a band? If so, what genre? I don't know. It would have to be the right fit as far as not just like the band, but the scheduling and everything, you know, for practicing, distance, location, all that stuff. As far as genre, I'm, you know, a rock guy. I like everything from ZZ Top style to, you know, Van Halen. So I'd like I've always been a big Skynyrd fan. Now, whether or not I could actually play all that stuff, I'd have to practice and figure it out. But I'd like to play in a Skynyrd tribute band as a guitar player. That would be awesome. But yeah, for the most part, I'm pretty flexible with that stuff, if that came about. But I'm not really looking to join a band right now. But I never say never with anything I do, because I never thought I'd get back into music either. I just thought, you know, if I did, it would be just very like buy a guitar and just strum, sit on the couch and strum a few chords here and there or whatever, and look what happens, you know, like I'm right in. So yeah, who knows? But I'm more of a rock guy than anything else. Let's see. Will says, I have left is 3 Les Pauls beside 5 other guitars, a 68 Junior, a 74 Black Custom with gold hardware, nice, and a 2014 Anniversary Tribute Honeyburst as my avatar. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's nice, man. I saw a custom, they had one of the, a white custom with gold hardware today at the store that I was in, and it was very nice. I think they wanted $4,200 for it. Canadian, anyway. James Severin says, I so badly want to buy a 2019 Les Paul Classic Gold Top, but waiting to see the new Gibson quality. Yeah, they should be out soon, eh? I'm pretty sure that they're coming in May or June, so keep an eye out. I'm looking forward to seeing some of them. Showman Blues, yeah. I've got an awful lot of Floyds at the moment. I think I'll start looking for a Nest style. Yeah, if you're looking for like this. This has got just a, I don't even know, like it's their own bridge, I guess, maybe, or a Wilkinson. But it stays in tune nice, like it plays really nice. Let me just put that back on. That's what that sounds like. If I go to my higher gain channel, you can do some higher gain. I forgot how to play that song.
Okay, get a little bit of Strat sounds there for you. All right, I'm gonna catch up a little bit. I think it's almost time to wrap her up anyway. Showman Blues says, yeah, down Florida. You're in Florida, Showman. Okay. 95 my guitars come from Reverb. Great, thanks a bunch, showing them both. Much appreciated. Yeah, no problem, anytime. I thought Brian, Showman, buddy, Scott Corner. I'm just catching up here, guys. Showman says, I thought so. That's the first I've heard. Give me 3 steps in a couple of years now. Immediately downloaded the lesson for it. Cool. I like that song, and I like this one. I like that one a lot too. Six String says, I like the Friedman headstock and logo. Yeah, you know what they do? Oops, sorry about that. Friedman's, they actually put it, so they make it like a plexi, right? Because Dave Friedman is a big fan of Marshall plexis and stuff, and he's modeled his amps and stuff around that kind of same technology, and he's a big fan of them. So his headstocks are basically like that. There's like a piece of plexi over top of it with the gold and black. So the Telly has the background black, and then the Friedman in white, I think. Yeah, I'd have to look back there, but yeah. So yeah, he's pretty cool the way he does his headstocks. Let's see. Can you play Power to Love, please? What is Power to Love? I don't know what that is. Pretty bad, I guess, because I should know that, right? 2018 Gibson Les Pauls, the Sweetwater musician friends. Yeah, they're blowing them out everywhere as far as not in Canada though. I haven't seen any deals here. They're still going for full price. Like I said, I saw that same one the Guitar Pit bought at a real discount in the States. I saw it here today and it was still full price. So we're not seeing the deals you guys are seeing, that's for sure. Scott Connor, seeing Maiden live is an experience. Yeah, I've seen Maiden like 3 times or something. I love them. Looks like the nearest Friedman dealer is about 3 hours away, Dale says, Dale Palmer. And Todd Flower says, I'm buying one more Gibson this month and I have to hold off for a while. You're buying another one this month? Cool. Let's see that. Skinnerd. Yeah, I love Skinnerd, man. Thing is with Skinnerd, I went to see them live last year. It was their final tour apparently, and this summer they're coming back. So I don't think those guys are ever going to retire. Todd Flowers says not bad for a bass player. I know, right? I'm still trying to get around the guitar after playing bass for so many years. A friend of mine just bought a BE50 Deluxe. That's a beautiful amp, Quentin. Jeez. So expensive though. Here in Canada, they have it in stock at that store that I buy all the like Friedmans and things, and it sells for 4,500 Canadian plus tax. So we're talking over $5,000 just for the head. It's insane. But I tried it. It's an awesome amp. Jimi Hendrix Band of Gypsies. Oh, okay. I don't know that song though. Sorry, Will. Let's see. GTV, what's going on? Showman Blues, glad I caught this live cast. Hey, Showman, it's nice to have you in here, that's for sure. So we can't catch them live all the time, but sometimes it's nice to get in here when it's live and get some
interaction with the host and see some stuff live. It's nice because the show kind of goes with what you guys want to see, right? So if you're here live and we're having discussions, it can go all kinds of ways. Sometimes I have a pre-planned agenda. Sometimes I have a really loose kind of, let's do whatever happens type of thing. So that's what we do. Tonight was one of those shows. We did a little bit on the aux, which was okay. I mean, it's so hard to show the details of the aux and go into detail on this because I'm very, very conscious of, you know, the time that I'm using. And in order to do a really proper demo of the aux and go through the nuances of the EQs and everything like that, that's a lot. And not everybody in here wants to sit through that. Like some people just want to get, you know, the basics and they're good. So it would have to be like, here's 10 people that definitely want to dive deep into this, and then I could dedicate a show just on that. And you know, the people that would be there for that show would be there for that type of detail and stuff. So I wouldn't feel so bad about taking all this time to go through presets and things of that nature. But Todd Flowers, oh my gosh, you're playing. Oh, thank you, Todd. Thank you. Still learning. Guitar TV says froze for you. Oh. Yeah, well, my stream sometimes goes a little wonky. Right now it looks like it's okay. It says it's okay, but depending on the internet, it can be a little funky. All right, Guitar Hack, I will text you when I know more this week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going, so hopefully we can meet up this weekend. Scott Connor, all 25 years of it, did it. Good night, Guitar Hack. All right, so let's finish off the night with a little jam, and then we'll call it. Let's see if I can bring up a song that makes sense here. What's this? Try this. All right, folks.
That's it for tonight, and we will see you next week. Again, next week, remember, we're starting at 7, and I don't know what we'll be talking about next week. Next week will be, the week after I'll be in Vegas, so I will try to do a show from Vegas, from the hotel or from the convention center where I'm at. I'll try to do that, but next week it'll be Monday night at 7. I might go live again this week if I can. And because sometimes I like to go live on either a Thursday night or Wednesday night or something, just later in the evening, just to test some equipment out. So if you're around and you see me go live and you want to jump in, definitely do that. And if you have any questions for me that I didn't answer in the chat, because I do have a hard time keeping up with the chat, I'm not that good at it, I'll admit that. But if there's anything that I missed or whatever, you can put it in the comments. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And I'm sure we'll see all of you guys during the week at some point in the other chats. I'm always in the other, going on the, viewing the other shows and going in the other chats. So I'm always around. And that's it. So hope you had fun. I always have fun doing these shows and talking with you on a Monday night. The week goes by so fast. It's Monday before you know it. So take care, be safe out there, enjoy the nice weather that's starting to pop its head out there. We've been a long winter. I know up here in Ontario anyway, it's been a long winter, and I'm looking forward to spring. So have a good one, folks, and we will talk to you next Monday at 7. And again, this week sometime I might go live again and we can do something else. All right, cool. Take care, guys.